Dr. Dre is at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles after suffering a brain aneurysm. The 55-year-old is stable and lucid, but doctors don't know what caused the bleeding and are doing a number of tests. On Dr. Dre's Instagram, he says, "Thanks to my family, friends, and fans for their interest and well wishes. I'm doing great and getting excellent care from my medical team. I'll be out of the hospital and back home soon. Shout out to all the great medical professionals at Cedars. One love." Now, as we all know, Dr. Dre is in the middle of a very contentious and serious divorce with his estranged wife, Nicole. As reported, Nicole wants $2 million a month in a temporary spousal support and $5 million for attorney fees. But Dr. Dre says he's been paying all of her expenses, so the $2 million demand is over the top, and he says that attorney fees are outrageous since her lawyers have only been working on the case for a few months. As widely reported by TMZ and others, Nicole also wants the judge to reject the prenuptial agreement she signed in 1996, claiming Dr. Dre ripped it up early on in the marriage, but Dr. Dre strongly denies that. So now that we're all up into these celebrities' business, we might as well learn something whilst we're here. What is an aneurysm? An aneurysm is a thin, weakened section of the wall of an artery or vein that has been stretched out and lost its elasticity. It bulges/stretches outward, forming a balloon-like sac, and if untreated, the aneurysm enlarges and the blood vessel wall becomes so thin that it bursts. The result is a massive hemorrhage, or also known as internal bleeding, along with shock, severe pain, stroke, or even death.
Most aneurysms are undetected when they're first developing. That over the years, as the blood pulsates against it, may blow out a little bit like a balloon on the side of a garden hose. These are typically called saccular or berry aneurysms because they look like a berry hanging from a branch. Most of these aneurysms are totally asymptomatic. They only cause symptoms if they either get so large that they put pressure on the brain or the nerves around them so that they can't function properly, or the more feared complication is that they pop or rupture. This can cause a potentially devastating hemorrhage around the base of the brain. When this occurs, about 15% of people will die before they even make it to a hospital. Among people who make it to the hospital, 20% will die within 30 days, no matter what we do for them. And among the people who survive, another 20 to 30% will survive with a permanent, significant disability as a consequence of that initial hemorrhage.
So at least from the look of things, and if he's the one who wrote that Instagram post, it seems that he's making a speedy recovery, which is positive news for him.
Through open surgery or through the artery again, through a coiling procedure where we work inside the vessel to close the aneurysm.
Open surgical procedure that we call clipping is done by a surgical procedure called a craniotomy, where we open a window of bone in the skull that allows us to look underneath the base of the brain. From here we can see the normal artery as it enters the base of the skull. We can follow it until we see that aneurysm or that bubble coming off the side of the wall of the artery. Once that's in view, we place a metal clip across the base of the aneurysm, right where it attaches to the normal artery. This prevents any blood flow from flowing from the artery into the aneurysm so that it can't rupture, but allows the normal blood flow to flow through the normal artery to feed the brain just like it's supposed to. Now this is a very secure way to fix an aneurysm. Once we put that clip in place and we prove that the aneurysm is closed in the operating room, we have better than a 95% lifetime guarantee that we would never see any part of that aneurysm again, even if we looked for it, and a better than 99% lifetime guarantee that it would never rupture. That's about as close as you can get to a guarantee in medicine. That has no chance of compaction and virtually no chance of recurrence. The first of which, available in the United States, was known as the pipeline, that has such a tight woven mesh that once it's placed in the artery across the opening into the aneurysm, blood flow finds it difficult to go through the walls of the stent and into the aneurysm, but finds it very easy to run down the normal tube of the artery to feed the brain like it's supposed to.
Factors that can lead to an aneurysm include smoking, genetics, and high blood pressure, which can be brought on by stress. To prevent aneurysms, doctors also recommend not smoking and watching your blood pressure.
So a lot of people online are definitely saying that stress is what caused this aneurysm. Dr. Dre has been in the news quite a lot recently for a number of things which we'll go into. One is that he has a bunch of estranged kids who have not seen him for years, decades, and he hasn't seen his grandchildren. Some of them have loads of kids and he's never seen them. Then there is his daughter's university admission controversy, which we'll dive into. And yeah, his obvious divorce that people are saying is definitely causing all this stress. Dr. Dre allegedly has some estranged sons and daughters, and one of them, Latanya Young, reportedly spoke with the Daily Mail regarding her famous father in an interview. This was on December 4th of 2020. She is now 37 years old. She was born to Dr. Dre and Lisa Johnson in 1983. She alleges she has not seen him in 17 years, and that getting close to his reported $800 million net worth is not her overall goal. She says, "Money is not what I want. I feel better doing it on my own." She She's a mother of 4, and she told this to the publication. She has also said that he has never met his grandchildren, and she doesn't even have his phone number to contact him in the case of an emergency. She says that if she needed him, she'd have to go to the studio and get bombarded and talked to by his security. She would have to go through his accountant or his right-hand man. He would never know whether he got her messages, and she just never has had a direct line to him. She also states that she really just wants to have some closure. She wants to be able to spend time with her dad. And another thing that was also reported is that this estranged daughter allegedly has applied to work at Fedex to feed her 4 kids, which is Dr. Dre's grandchildren.
My daughter got accepted into USC all on her own, no jail time.
And he was obviously alluding to the 2019 college admission bribery scandal that arose over criminal conspiracy to influence undergraduate admission decisions at several top American universities. Popular celebrities that were both charged in connection with the scheme were Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman. Well, you know, nothing goes past social media. So eventually, people found out that he, Dr. Dre, and Jimmy Iovine made a $70 million donation in 2013 to the school for the creator of the Jimmy Iovine and Andre Young Academy for Arts, Technology, and Business of Innovation. So they did donate a whole lot of money, which might have definitely contributed to his daughter getting into the university. Obviously, wishing him a speedy recovery, and hopefully can make things right by his estranged kids, because this is a very, very sad situation that, you know, he has children that are out here in this world, and he chooses not to deal with them at all. The whole situation is just sad. So I hope he gets out of the hospital, does well, and lives his life differently for these kids that he has, because this is just a very sad situation. In any case, if you're not already part of the family, make sure you hit bump stomp as zoned on a subscribe button, comment because I really want to know what you think, like because you obviously like this video, and hit the notification bell while you're at it. I'll see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Daily videos up in here. In the meantime, make time for glorious life. It's time to start what? Living it right. God bless.